have something in common. It is not that we are all in 9th grade, and yes, part of it is that we are here at AES in India, but my main thought was that we have the shared experience of moving to another country multiple times, or one time or 2 times. We have all moved somewhere, and I know that because we are all from different countries, and we have been here in a new situation at AES. Someone will say that they are forced through this experience of moving, and someone will say that they are privileged. And to be new to a place and different situations is a hard thing, but I will say that we are privileged because we learn so much from this moving experience. And as I said, some of us moved many times, some of them moved single times, but we have all been part of that transitional process of our lives where we are new to situations. And it might be hard and we might be ungrateful in the start, but I think it's a privilege. We experience many things that our peers never will. We meet new people and we adapt to difficult situations. We develop a broader perspective on life, on problems, and on values and rules and people. We mature and become more independent individuals than those who are left behind in our own country are at the moment. We don't shy away from situations and problems, but we open up and develop into a more independent individual. Moving to another country can be either good or bad, but it's about the experience we get from moving. We experience culture, religion, values, rules, people, and other things that are important of life. As a student, we experience most important of all, education, which I am very glad that I came to AES because it got much better from where I was before. I have lived in Estonia, but I was too young to remember anything, and I was just home with my mom because she wasn't working. And I always thought that that moving was not a very important part of my life. But as I wrote this speech, I thought that maybe it has, because she was playing with me, reading with me, walking with me, singing with me, and she was with me all day, and this might have impacted my life much more than I thought. The second time I moved was to Belgium, which is a country in Europe, and this time I was 6 years old. I had gone first grade in Norway, and I thought it was very hard to leave my friends to move to another country which was all new, and it was difficult for me. When I came there, the first weeks didn't go very well, but my teacher made me feel comfortable, and I soon made friends that I really liked, and I enjoyed my life in Belgium. So when we then moved back to Norway, I really looked forward to it, because I thought now I have my friends there too, and it's Norwegian school, and it would be a bigger class. But things had changed when I got home, and I felt different than my peers. My interest had changed, and I can say that I kind of lived in this little bubble in Belgium where I was still a child. So at many times I was home, I felt like playing around when the others were sitting on the benches and talking about stuff I didn't find interesting. But also I was more mature than them because I cared more about grades and school in other ways that they didn't. And I knew that there was a possibility for me to get away by moving. And if I hadn't moved to Belgium the first time, I would have settled with my life and hoped for something better to come by one day later in life, or just whenever I got to move, or by myself when I got 18. But I didn't settle because I knew that there were experiences and that there was a chance for me to get out of that there again. The memories that we make when we are moving are important, and they don't disappear. They will be there for the rest of our lives, and this is one of the privileges we get with moving, because we experience so many things, and all those experiences will be memories. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Things change. If we move back to India later, things will have changed. But the moment here and now is what we will remember in our memories, and that's our experiences. So keep those memories because they will make you smile later in life. I wanted a new start and a clean slate, but most of that wish was to meet new people, and new people meant making potential friends. I was the different person in Norway. I cared about grades, and I played the piano as the only student that played an instrument in our grade, actually. And everyone else did sports, and that impacted my life much. We were 60 people in total in our grade, and out of those 60 people, 5 of us did not do either handball or football. In our PE class, our PE teachers, some of them were trainers for those teams, and they expected us to be able to run a certain amount of rounds on a running field for 12 minutes, because they thought that everyone would be able to do that, because everyone did sports. So that was one of the places that I was different. Also, I was the only one who played an instrument, and it made me feel embarrassed over it. I played the piano, and I would kind of hide it from the other people so that they wouldn't look at me as even more different. And I was the only one who raised my hand in class when teachers asked me something. When the teachers asked the class something, I happened to be placed in a very quiet class, and by quiet I mean quiet in the wrong places. When the teachers asked the class something, no one would answer except me, and I raised my hand. And after a while, the teachers would start to ignore my hand to let others answer, but what they really didn't understand was that no one else would answer. And then it ended up with that they answered the questions themselves, or they just ignored my hand. And that after a while labeled as the golden kid, if you understand what I mean, that the teacher's pet or the geek of the class. And those were labels that I didn't like, and I never meant to. I never meant to be the teacher's pet. I simply rose my hand when no one else did. And therefore I was desperate to get away from those labels, and one of those chances were to move to another country. Also, I had only 2 real friends in Norway, and one of them was in my class. When she was sick, I really had to force myself to go to school, because I felt so different that no one would sit with me if we had to partner up with someone. So people we meet and interact, I have experienced that they are a very important part of our life. If they smile to us, then we will smile and be happy. If they scowl at us, then we will be put in yet another mood. So the people I was placed with in Norway did not make my life and me happy, because they were very different from me. So therefore I wish to move again. I hope to meet people that I had something in common with, because that means you can talk and you can hang out and you can discuss things, important subjects. And my mom used to say that you have to have more than 2 feet to stand on, meaning that you have to have more than one friend to rely on, because in case that friend is gone or sick or something like that, then you have to have someone else to talk to, not to be alone. And that was what I experienced in Norway, that I didn't actually have more than 2 feet to stand on. The most important gift we get by moving, I think, is our way of development. We become strong, independent, mature, and a world-experienced persons. We get to handle new situations and problems that many of our peers never will. 99% of my peers in Norway in my class still live in the same house as they have since they were born. They walk up the same stairs every day, up and down, and they never experience anything else. When I told some of the girls in my class that I would move to India, some of them were actually jealous. They also wanted to change school, and I asked this one girl, "Why don't you change school? Why haven't you changed school?" Because there are lots of opportunities around the city where I lived, and it's easy to change school, as we have 7 schools in our little city. And she said that she didn't dare, because there would be new teachers, new peers, maybe new subjects, new grades, and they would have to adapt to a new situation that was completely abnormal for them. And that they go on the school with the same people in their class almost all their lives for 10 years. they go to one school. And that's why it's hard to come back to their class in Norway, because they make a pack, if you can call it a group, and coming out from the outside and getting in there is really hard. They are already one community and they're not ready to welcome someone else. And that is when we move here to AS, for example, these schools and the people here, they are used to accepting new people because they keep arriving all the time. And I asked, as I said, I asked why she didn't move. And then I realized that I have moved so many places and I don't get to bring Norwegian food or my friends here. I have to speak English here all day on the school. And there are lots of things that I will miss, but I can't bring to India. She could change schools. She would have the same friends. She would live in the same house, and most would be the same except her school. And then later I saw this Facebook status where it said, then I will move to the city in Norway, Moss. And the distance from where she used to live to where she would move now, it's like Gurgaon and Delhi, 30 or 40 minutes maximum. And then people under wrote, like, I will miss you so much, and oh, it's so sad that you will move. And then I thought that, oh, I'm moving to India. It's like 10 hours on a plane plus 1 hour drive to get home. And it's expensive too. It's not only far away, it's expensive. And so what I realized now is that when we are as young as we are transformed, and we are changed, and we are privileged most of all. Because the experiences, they impact our lives and our personalities, and we get to experience so much more than our peers ever will, or some of them will, but we are beyond our time. For example, when we will move out, we have always previewed that phase, and for our peers and same age as us, they will be scared, most of them. And to move out alone, live in a different house than they have. Moving back and forth, I now realize that I have to be grateful for life and the opportunities we get to experience. And meeting new people, developing a fluent English, experiencing holy cows, they are just some of the privileges we get by moving to, for example, India. We grow up to be major persons, and for that we have to be proud and we have to be grateful.